Hello and welcome to this episode of Orion Now. Today we have the Lake Orion Wiffleball Association, yes, that's true, joining us, as well as Andrew Cole from our Bald Mountain State Park. Stay tuned for this episode of Orion Now. Welcome back. Today I'm pleased to welcome Ryan Skalnek from the Lake Orion Wiffleball Association. Yes, we have a Wiffleball Association in Lake Orion, and I just kind of stumbled across this probably a year or two ago. I guess one of my friends liked some comment or something on Facebook about the Lake Orion Wiffleball Association, and I spent the next hour kind of checking out what you're all about, and then recently, we'll get into that in a minute, but had the opportunity to kind of witness what you guys are all about. So,
yeah.
So first off, welcome, Ryan. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you got a little bit of family ties in the community. Obviously, you have a business, or why don't you tell us about your family business here in town?
Well, part of the Skalnek Ford family, so my grandfather's been here since 1964, so
Wow.
Always been part of the community and proud of the family business. So, but we're here. About our world-famous Wiffleball Association.
We got to make Dad happy, so we got the plug in. So we got that out of the way.
Yeah,
Skalnek
got the
Ford.
plug in. Buy your cars from there.
Buy your cars from, and if you use car from Ryan up in Emily City.
Yeah.
But so this is not a joke. This is a legitimate thing. The Lake Orion Wiffleball. So what in the world is this, and how did this start? So most people know what wiffleball is, I think.
Most people know what wiffleball is, but I always love when we tell people about what we do. It's always like, wiffle ball, you guys do this, what? Like, isn't that a kid's game? But, a yellow plastic bat and a ball with holes in it, we play the game. And a couple years ago, we turned it into a fundraiser. So it started back in high school in 2001. Me and a couple buddies, we would always get together, play a game in one of our friends' parents' backyards, and we started making rules about it because the place that we play has a bunch of obstacles. There's a lake.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about the venue, the ballpark. So I came and witnessed this year's tournament.
Yeah.
Which is it always the same time of year? It's always around the 4th of July?
It's always the week after the 4th of July generally, just because people are in town sometimes.
So okay, yeah, got to get all the guys that moved out of state back in state for the big tournament. So I'm expecting, I got the address, I'm wheeling up on Saturday morning, I'm expecting to see this sprawling backyard with baselines and everything painted.
Yep.
And so I walk back there, and I'm like, this is not the right house. Like, I see a lot of people, but this is not a wiffle ball field.
Well, that's the beauty about wiffle ball is we play on this. It's not a huge backyard. It's not an open field. There's a deck in left field. There's a tree in the middle of the field. There's water to the right, but that's what's great about wiffle ball is you can play it anywhere. It doesn't have to be on a baseball field or anything like that. So I mean, we would play 2 guys versus 2 guys, and you're hitting it off the roof of the house. We have pictures of it where you can see it, and we call it kind of an amusement park of a field because there's a lot of goofy little things that you're hitting it into a tree. But so because of that, we had to make a lot of quirky rules to incorporate
Right.
the field that we play on.
So first base you run past the base, and if you overrun the bag by more than about 5 feet, you're in Lake Orion.
Yeah,
Spring Bay.
You're in the lake. So I mean, if you want to hustle through the bag, you're going to be diving into the lake. So that's always a fan favorite when somebody barrels into the lake.
Yeah,
so.
And that was I saw that a few times. And the other thing I thought was neat was kind of reminded me of the Price is Right game Plinko a little bit, because the balls that got hit into the trees or off the roof, they're live until they hit the ground. So it can hit the tree, the roof, the chair, and then if you catch it before it touches the ground, it's an out, right?
Oh yeah, that's our Plinko tree. It goes up and it'll go on the branches, and sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. So it adds a lot to the game, but Believe it or not, where we play, you wouldn't think we could play, but it works out, So we've been playing there since, 2001, and we've had some tournaments, the last 7 years, So it's a lot
okay,
of
so
fun.
let's get into that a little bit. So this was, I think, the 7th annual tournament, and Tournament of Champions. I don't want to disrespect it here. It's Tournament of Champions.
Yep,
and I think
absolutely.
to really say it right, we have to have, like, champions, like the echo, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with the tournament, that's for sure. It just started off, the first one, it was just, we were in college now, we graduated high school, and it was just a great reason to get, all of our buddies from college back together, have a few beers, have a few laughs. And so we started, our first tournament, it was just a smaller group. I think we only had, probably about 12 guys that, played in that tournament. And, each year it's gotten a little bit bigger, and, now we have 30 guys that play in the tournament.
So 30 guys were there, and how many teams did you have this year?
We had 6 teams of 5 guys.
Okay. And so then, what I witnessed was, so now it's not just the kids coming out. Now it's a lot of your friends are getting married. They're starting to have kids of their own. So, and then a lot of the parents, it seemed like, were out, kind of had the grandstand set up for parents. And obviously, yeah, you make, it's a fun event. There's a lot of food and plenty of things to drink if you want to, right? So you got to stay hydrated.
Yep, absolutely. But, no, yeah, our first tournament was actually in the fall. And then we were like, well, we got to do it in the summertime when the weather's nice. So, it just kept on growing. Parents, friends, other friends, not just the players that were playing, started showing up, and it, just kept on. More people kept on showing up. So, about 4 or 5 years ago, which would have been our 4th annual tournament, we were having, 50, 60 people show up. I was like, we could turn this into a really cool event where, we can try to raise some money, for something. We weren't sure, what we wanted to do at the time, but, we kind of decided to try to turn it into a fundraiser, about 4 tournaments ago.
Right. So that's kind of how I got, so I found out about you, a year or 2 ago, and kind of forgot about it. And I sit on the Orion Veterans Memorial Committee. So at our meeting a month or so ago, Dr. Master Mateo, who's very involved in our memorial, brought up to the group about this Wiffleball Association tournament, and it sort of garnered some chuckles at the table from the people that didn't know about it. And that's when we kind of learned about you're having your tournament. You'd love for us to try to provide just to be there as a present, a veteran to be there for a present. And then they actually said you were the very first group when they started selling the commemorative blocks out at the memorial for a fundraiser. You were the first group to get your logo on a block, on a brick out at the memorial, and it's still out there, right?
Yep, it's a beautiful brick, beautiful memorial. So, when we first, with the Veterans Memorial, we weren't really sure what we wanted to do donation-wise. There's so many causes out there, but we kind of pride ourselves that we're one of the most American organizations out there, kind of as a joke. We like, having a good time. Wiffleball is America's favorite pastime, we like to claim, and so we're like, supporting the troops, and our veterans is a great cause. So the first year, we were like, my family's been involved in the memorial. Both my grandfathers have bricks in the Veterans Memorial, so I thought that was kind of a more, keep it local, keep it in the community with our organization. And we're Lake Orion Wiffleball, so our first year we decided to donate to the Orion's Veteran Memorial, and that's how I kind of got to know Dr. Master Mateo very well. So, we kind of decided to go from there.
So I think to date, I don't know if you know off the top of your head, I'm putting you on the spot, but you've given you've raised and donated thousands of dollars, not only to the Orion Veterans Memorial, but I think the Wounded Warrior Project, correct?
Yeah. Our first year, we were just kind of winging it, just really not knowing too much what we're doing. But I was thinking, we'll maybe raise a couple $100, which is awesome.
Yeah.
In our first year, we raised $1,100 that we donated to the Orion's Veterans Memorial, and we've donated every year since. I think to this date, we've donated probably close to $10,000 to the Orion Veterans Memorial over the last 4 tournaments. And last year we donated to the Wounded Warrior Project, which is a nonprofit organization that helps current veterans that are, I believe it's post 9/11.
Right.
They focus on those particular needs for them. And, you know, it's been great. This year we raised over $9,000 for 3 veteran organizations, and 3 of that's going to, again, be going to the Orion Veterans Memorial. So,
well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I want to talk a little bit about the fundraising and things like that. So I understand we haven't touched on this yet. So tell me about the whole weekend. Obviously, we hear how the humble roots of college guys finding a reason to get together when they're back in town, growing into this tournament of champions. Now it's really a kind of a 2-day or 1-night and full-day event. Tell me about Friday night.
Well, we like to call, you know, our favorite weekend of the year is Wiffleball weekend. You know,
of course.
And obviously for the tournament you got to draft the players and the team. So we started off, you know, having our draft night the night before, and you know, we would just get together, just us guys, to draft. But then once we tried to turn it into a fundraiser, we started our draft night charity dinner. So it's just a catered dinner. You know, we're very blessed to have it donated by Hollywood Markets, a local business in here. Actually provides all the food. They do a great job for us. You know, and it's a catered dinner that all the proceeds go to there, and it's a very fun event. Like I said, we're a little bit of a quirky organization, so everybody gets dressed up. We have a best mustache competition. We have a best dressed competition. We have Miss Wiffleball. And, you know, we have a lot of fun that night as well while we draft the teams.
That's cool. And so this year you had the Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard. All the teams were military themed.
Yep, absolutely. You know, to kind of tie in, you know, our message of the weekend. And, you know, it's not just to raise money, but it's also to bring awareness of, you know, the veterans that have, you know, served our country, and to honor them as well. So we had probably about a dozen veterans, you know, in attendance for the charity dinner, and, you know, even more throughout the tournament the following Saturday. But we decided that each team's going to represent a branch of the armed forces, and the prisoners of war missing in action rounded off our 6th team, because we needed a 6th branch.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, I bet you that this is probably the most unique event in not just Lake Orion or Orion, but probably, I would say, maybe the state. It's awesome. I had a blast. I got to figure out how I can be a sub one time. You know, if somebody goes down, I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
Absolutely.
But I was a little envious that I was on the sidelines. But it was awesome to watch, and it was funny because I actually ran into a bunch of people around there was a lot of events going on around the 4th, and I was so excited about your event. I was telling everybody, and people knew about it. A lot of people know about it. Oh, those guys play in Spring Bay, right? So. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, and so what do you got here? What do you got?
Well, yeah, I mean, for having us out, you know, and if you want to represent the Lake Orion Wiffleball Association,
I would be honored
you can
to.
get a beautiful Lake Orion Wiffleball Association logo.
Wow.
T-shirt. We made these up this year. Got a new logo, and we got our cups and koozies.
All right.
And
amazing. This is awesome. Thank you very much. So, let's see. So I'm definitely going to wear this. Check this out. Yeah, you got to show the back here too. I mean, this is not a joke. And yeah, so we'll put, maybe we'll have some pictures of the best mustache. The winner of the best mustache, actually, I talked to him. What was the guy's name? Is it Dave?
Dave Welch.
Dave.
One of our left-handed participants. He shaved a USA in his mustache. So
he told me it took him 5 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours to shave USA. It was awesome.
Yeah, we had one guy had stars and stripes, and
a couple handlebar
mustaches. So, you know, one of the guys, our new logo is a picture of a Patriot holding a wiffle ball bat. So one of the guys actually dressed up as a Patriot for our best dress competition this year. So, but it's a great event. I mean, we have our buddies. One of my buddies, Rick Vanderboom, whose place we have it at, his parents' house, he flies in from Alaska. I mean, we have guys coming in from Florida, Boston, all over the place just for wiffle ball weekend. So it's a lot of fun, and you know, we turned it into something.
So obviously, it's the tournament itself is invite only. This is a tight, close-knit group of guys. But how can people in the community, if they want to be involved next year, how can they find out about what you're doing if they want to donate just to your cause? Is your charity dinner open to the public?
Well, we're working on that just because we're limited on the size of the field that we
Right.
play on, that we can't have, 100
Exactly.
teams, finish a tournament in a day. But, I mean, the best thing to do would be to follow us on Facebook,
Okay.
Lake Orion Wiffleball Association. We're kind of growing and not sure exactly where this is heading, but, in the meantime, we're, proud to be able to,
Right.
give back to the community and, especially our local Orion Veterans Memorial. So.
Well, thank you very much. Is there a Wiffle Ball World Series? Like, does that happen someplace? Because we should put together a team.
I
from
mean,
Lake Orion
I
to be
think we could
represented.
probably get a pretty solid squad with our athletic programs in Lake Orion. So,
Absolutely.
I'm not sure about that, but our tournaments each year, generally the weekend after the 4th, and you can follow us on Facebook.
Okay.
And go from there.
Well, thanks for coming in and just telling us a little about what you're doing. Thank you, with all sincerity, for all that you've done just to support our community and the veterans here. And I know I'm very appreciative of it. And I know the Memorial Committee is as well. So thanks a lot, and we will see you out on the hold on, what's the field called? Is there a name?
We call it Vandenboom Field.
Vandenboom Field. We'll see you on Vandenboom Field.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Ryan. So amazing stuff here, right here in our own community. I bet you a lot of you didn't know about that. So stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll have Andrew Cole from the Michigan DNR.
Enjoy farm fresh produce, kettle corn, baked goods, and more at the Lake Orion Farmers Market, held every Wednesday from 2 to 7 p.m. through September 11th. Each week, more than a dozen vendors offer locally grown goods, with more variety each week as new crops are harvested. The Farmers Market is located next to the Orion Arts Center and near Children's Park in downtown Lake Orion. Support the local economy and put fresh produce on your table. Visit the Lake Orion Farmers Market. For more information, go to downtownlakeorion.org.
Welcome back to Orion Now. I'm pleased to be joined right now by Andrew Cole from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources. He's the park supervisor of Bald Mountain Recreation Area.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us,
Thank you.
Andrew. It's nice to have you on our show today. So first of all, Bald Mountain State Recreation Area. Tell me a little bit about what makes up Bald Mountain. And obviously the better parts are in Orion Township, so we'll focus on those. But go ahead and tell me about the whole unit.
Bald Mountain Recreation Area is 4,636 acres.
Okay.
It's split into 3 separate units. We have the north unit, the south unit, and the west unit. The south unit, a majority of it is in Orion Township, along with the west unit. We have several picnic shelters, picnic areas. We have a beach. We have roughly about 3,000 acres worth of hunting land that is open to people during specific hunting seasons.
Okay.
Lots of lakes for fishing opportunities and boating opportunities. We have some rustic cabins that people can rent out and overnight lodging opportunities as well.
Okay, great. So like you said, the best part of the recreation area is in Orion Township. Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it, but I think I probably lived here for 5 or 6 years before I realized that there's a lake back there. There's a really nice beach. So it's kind of beach season. Talk a little bit about the beach and how do people use the beach? Where is it at? How do people get to it?
The beach, you can actually locate the beach area from the main entrance, which is off of Lapeer Road.
Okay.
It's about, I would say, a mile north of Silver Bell Road on the east side of the road. The beach is roughly, we estimated about 70,000 square feet of sand. We rake that beach every day, so it's clean. We get several picnic areas, lots of picnic tables. We have some shaded structures for handicap access down there at the beach as well.
Okay.
Lots of grills for people to use. We have modern toilet buildings down there as well.
Awesome. So how is beach season? Are you busy? Do a lot of people come use the facility?
Well, it's been very, very hot the past few weeks, so the crowds have been pretty good. When it rains and it's kind of cooler weather like it is now, crowds are pretty small, but there's plenty of room for people to come. We have a very large area down there for people to come picnic.
That's awesome. So I'll tell you, now that I know that it exists, and I didn't know for many years, like I said, my personal favorite part is I ride a mountain bike, and so I can ride from my house, kind of in through the entrance there, and there's some pretty awesome trails in there. So talk a little bit about the mountain bike trails.
Within the park total, there's about 16 miles of trails. The trails are open to mountain biking and hiking. You can access the Paint Creek Trail from the park as well.
Okay.
But there's rolling terrain in the south unit, which is majority of the trails are in Orion Township in the south unit. Most of the trails are going to be north of Green Shield Road. And there's probably about, like I said, 7 miles of trails north of Green Shield Road, and then about a mile worth of trails south of Green Shield Road in the day use area.
Okay, cool. And so, so yeah, those are the trails that I ride, and I have gone over my handlebars a couple times. It's definitely rolling terrain, but it's a lot of fun. Be careful of the hikers, right? So
Yes, beware of the hikers. It's a very scenic ride as well. You cross a couple of creeks. There's some bridges. Right now, some of the areas with the recent rains we had are a little muddy, so be careful if you're out there riding.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and to me, that's what I love about Orion Township is we kind of have a belt going across the middle of our community, and the majority of that is the green that makes up all mountain recreation area. And like I said, a lot of people that live here, and some people that have even lived here most of their lives, don't realize all the amenities that you have to offer. So how do people access the park? What do they? I know, I think it has something to do with that little box you check on your registration when you renew your car registration. Right?
Yes, yep. Bald Mountain Recreation is part of the state park system, so we require the recreation passport to enter any of the state parks. You can get one when you renew your vehicle registration through the Secretary of State. When you get your renewal form in the mail, there's a little box that says recreation passport in the lower right-hand corner. Right. You can check yes or no. If you check yes, it adds $11 right now onto your registration fees. That will put a little letter P on the sticker that goes on the license plate. That will be the pass to get into all of the state parks, including Bald Mountain Recreation Area.
So we can come, if you check the box and pay your $11 when you renew your registration, you can use the beach and the trails and all the...
You can use all the amenities of Bald Mountain Recreation Area.
Wow, that's pretty good bargain.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how we get in the park. Talk to me a little bit about some of the events. What can people find? What can people do at this summer at the rec area?
Okay, we have what's called the Recreation 101 program. We develop a lot of programs that are very basic intro programs to outdoor activities that maybe people have never tried before. They can range from kayaking to birding to mountain biking, fishing. Some of the ones that we have upcoming are archery. That will take place in September and October.
Okay.
We have an RC, which is a remote control airplane club within our park that has a field. They're going to do a program called RC Airplane 101, so people can come out and actually get the chance to try and fly a remote control airplane over at their field, which is located on Scripps Road in the West Unit.
Oh, the Sky Masters.
The Sky Masters.
Sky Masters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. We also have some s'mores. It's called Meteors and S'mores event coming up. That will be in August. That's for the Perseid meteor shower.
Okay.
That happens every year. This is going to be the second year that we've done that program. Last year, we had about 50 people come out, so it was very popular. It's going to be from 10 o'clock at night to 1 o'clock in the morning. You can come out, you can have some s'mores, you can watch the meteor shower, and just sit down and have a good time. And there's going to be some folks on hand to talk about some astrology events going on. So if you want more information, you can call the park. The park number is 248-693-6767. Or you can go to the DNR website as well and find out some of the information on the Recreation 101 calendar.
Okay, that's awesome. So tell me a little bit about you. How long has this been your job?
I have been at Bald Mountain Recreation Area for a year and a half. I started last January. So it was a very big park to get used to. It took a while to get around to all the back roads that we have that go through the parks. Right. But it's a very good park. I enjoy the park very much. The community is great. It's fantastic, the surrounding community that we have around the park.
And you're jumping right in and getting involved. I see at a lot of different community events, which is great. I think it's important to let people know. I know that's probably top on your list, is just trying to get the word out of what there is to be had right there in our own backyard. So,
like you said, a lot of people don't know that the park exists.
Right.
It seems like on a weekly basis we hear people talk about it's a fantastic park. They've lived in the area for 15 years and they never knew the park was there. So it's kind of like a hidden gem, but it's not really a hidden gem because it's been here since 1944. So, one of our goals is to get people to realize that this is here. This is a great place to come. We have great trails. We have a beach. It's fantastic just to come out and take a walk through the woods, especially in the fall when you get the colors turning. So we have a lot to offer at Bald Mountain Recreation Area.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me a little bit about there's an opportunity for people to actually roll up their sleeves and get involved. What's that look like?
Every month we have what's called the Stewardship Volunteer Work Days. We do a lot of work in the north unit of the park. Right now is our focus, removing invasive species. That's headed up by our Stewardship Division.
Okay.
If you want to take part in one of those work days, you can call the park and we can give you information, the dates when those are going to take place. They normally happen about once a month. Right now we're trying to restore the fen ecosystem that's around the north unit, East Graham and West Graham Lake areas.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, if you have a student in the high school, one of the requirements is they need 40 hours of community service. So would you allow this to be, I mean, you fill out the form for the students to use this for that type of,
Yes.
for their volunteer hours required
Absolutely.
to graduate?
Yep, we've actually, I've been able to set up some information that the students can actually come. I have forms. I've worked with the person who's set up that and is in charge of that program with the high school.
Good.
So they can contact her or they can contact me. I have some of the forms that she gave me as well.
Great.
And they can do some of their community service hours here at the park on those days.
Right here in our own community. Make sure the Orion students work in the Orion unit, all right?
Absolutely.
So what else, is there anything else you want people in Orion to know about Bald Mountain?
You know, Bald Mountain Recreation Area it's a great place just to come and relax. We offer a lot of places to come and fish, have boating activities, you know, just come out for a picnic. Our goal is to get people outdoors. You know, one of the greatest things that we have in our community is our green spaces, and we have one of the biggest ones in this community. So
Right.
we have a lot to offer, and we have overnight lodging opportunities for those who just want to have a getaway. We have 2 rustic cabins that people can rent out. They go for $80 a night, and they sleep up to 20 people. So you can bring your whole family, you can bring your friends, and you know, you sit out, have a barbecue, have some s'mores out by the campfire. There's a lake that the cabins sit on, so you can have kayak out there and go fishing. So, you know, we have a lot to offer, and come out and enjoy the space that's in your backyard.
I'll bet you that a lot of people that are watching this probably didn't know a lot of the information you just said, including me. So rent a cabin for $80 for 20 people. That's probably the best deal going. So
Absolutely.
Well, I thank you for coming and kind of enlightening us a little bit more on what's in our own backyard, and hopefully people will actually get out and take a look at what's there. And I agree. I think it's one of the biggest selling points of people moving to our community is great schools, great houses, but we have some incredible natural resources that most of our neighboring communities aren't as lucky as we are to have. So thank you for coming on, and I challenge all of you out there, please take some time this summer or even in the fall to really look to enjoy what's right here in our backyard. So thanks, Andrew, for coming and joining us, and that concludes this episode of Orion Now. Thanks for tuning in. Please check in later for upcoming exciting guests, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.